Today we do a take 2 on our Asian water monitor speed build. In case if you guys missed the last episode, I lost this build, but we were quick enough to refurbish it and make it even better than the last time. So without further ado, welcome back to Castaway Keys Zoo. Alright, back to where we kind of started or ended or right in between. Welcome everyone back to Castaway Keys Zoo. Hope you guys are all having the most wonderful of wonderful days. My name is Leaf and it's so great to bring you guys back over here as we redo our Asian water monitor habitat. Yeah, so I kind of just went full in on this. I was like, I didn't really want to wait for the comments. I'm so sorry, guys. But I was super excited to get working on this once again because I feel like we did this even better this time. I know, it's crazy, right? So this is something that a lot of my friends and I have been experiencing where we kind of lose files relatively often. And then we come back like a phoenix out of the ashes, where it's like, oh man, we did this kind of like good last time, but let's do it even better. Because what's so awesome about this is that, yeah, it sucks that, you know, you lost all your progress on this, but you keep those skills that you kind of like retained when you built this project, and you even keep like some of the ideas and some of the techniques and all that stuff, and you know what will work, what won't work, and it's just really awesome to be able to go back over here and just be able to redo it. Honestly, I'm so thankful for it because I think it looks even better this time, and I gave a lot more attention to an animal that I think is very underrated. And it was kind of underrated when, like, you know, it got announced. I know a lot of people were relatively pissed about it. I think some people are still pissed about it. But it's just a really awesome creature, so we're going to talk about them a little bit. Asian water monitors are just some of my favorite reptiles out there. I really want one as a pet. I feel like they would be super fun. They're kind of like dogs, just like, you know, without the fur. So these guys are just really, really awesome creatures. They're found around, like, you know, I want to say all over Southeast Asia, I feel. I think they're found anywhere from, like, the islands of, like, Sumatra, the Philippines, all the way out to, like, India. I think they can be found over. I gotta double check on that fact, but I don't know. I guess you guys can just believe me or not. They can also climb, which is a little bit disappointing, because they don't use any climbing beams in Planet Zoo. It's a little bit of a shame because that's usually what most people think of them as, like one of the most unique traits, other than the fact that they're like the second largest monitor species, I believe right behind the Komodo dragon and right above the Nile monitor. Again, please just double check me on these facts. I feel so insecure whenever I don't know about animals because, like, I run an animal-centric channel on YouTube, so I feel like I should kind of know my animal facts. But hey, even Einstein was wrong 2 times a day. I don't know how the saying goes. But you can see what we're working with over here is a lot more fun foliage, and one of the things I did over here was add that mangrove tree right in the middle of the habitat that really gives like a good kind of eye candy when you're looking at it. It feels like it's a lot more of an organic split in between the habitats now, and it would give these animals a chance to actually stay arboreal, which, again, going back to what I was saying before, is a very unique trait to the Asian water monitor. So they can't just swim, they can also climb as well, and that allows them to catch like whatever prey they really need to. They're very opportunistic. They've really been developed to you know, be able to achieve any kind of prey that they can find, really. Just a really cool animal, and I just absolutely am stoked that we have them in the game. They're just a really beautiful animal. Super common in zoos, too. Chances are you're probably within, like, a zoo within, I don't know, 2 hours that has this species. That's at least my ballpark estimates, unless if you're, like, in the middle of Nebraska or something. But I even think Omaha has them. I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna say that they do. Regardless, you can see I'm going back to my BS over here by adding that little waterfall. I forgot to actually add stream ripples in here because it's something I really wanted to add, but I just kind of forgot about it. Adding a few more details to the rest of the habitat as well, just adding like all these small little, you know, just pots, pans, everything that might be in the bottom of the water over here. Again, the idea is that it's kind of like a sunken temple, and I really just wanted to add a whole bunch of like different ruins and artifacts that you would find underwater. Oh no, I just thought that was super fun because when I'm making this zoo, it's so difficult to come up with ideas that would translate well to Planet Zoo, really, because I've been doing some dumb stuff. I've been like AI generating like sunken temples, like sunken Indonesian temples, and sometimes I get something that looks super awesome, but it just doesn't translate well to Planet Zoo. So I have to come up with a lot of these ideas on my own, and sometimes the idea bank runs a little dry. I'm not sure if you guys get this idea too, but no, or this feeling rather. But sometimes I kind of just creatively spent myself mostly in the front of the zoo, and it's like, oh damn, that's great. What do I do now? And it's like, whatever. One of the things I do over here is a custom bench. This will be in like, you know, a little bit of a blueprint pack. I'll have a blueprint pack out for this build relatively soon. Like, not just the Asian Water Monitor build, but for literally everything in Castaway Keys. I think I'm gonna wait until I finish the next section, which is honestly like the whole zoo. This is gonna be a very small zoo. I apologize to anyone who wants like a huge tropical zoo, but this is just like a quick little project I want to do, just to kind of drum up hype for the tropical pack, and also give myself a little bit of a break from all my other projects. Not that I am not having fun with them, it's just sometimes I just want to work in a different style, and that's totally fine. Like, listen, if you guys feel bad about starting projects, just look at any YouTuber, because we all have like our projects that we don't show off, or projects that you might have forgotten about. Does anyone remember Oasis Hill Zoo? Like, come on. Even like all the other creators too. I'm sure there are so many projects out there that kind of just slipped under the radar that, you know, it just happens. Like, everyone creates projects, everyone gets that hype, and then everyone might abandon them. And that's totally fine, because it's a game. Like, you don't need to think too harshly about that stuff. Anyways, one of the things I didn't do in the last speed build that I am doing over here is a little bit of like an archway. So I thought it'd be super fun just to be able to incorporate some of the new Indonesian pieces as a way to kind of welcome you into this area. It's not really an area, it's kind of just one habitat, but it's just super fun just to be able to see it all come together in the end. But I really felt like we were lacking something like that welcomed you into this area, because, I don't know, it just kind of feels dumb to have like this big underwater viewing and then not have anything that like introduce you to it. So I kind of have like this kind of wooden temple vibe, like this kind of reconstructed temple, because I feel like this would be like an excavation site, and you would have like all these what do you call them? It's like it's like in Minecraft, scaffolding. There you go, scaffolding. You would have like all this scaffolding everywhere that kind of like indicates, okay, this is a work zone. Just be a little bit safe when you're passing through here, and I think it looks super awesome when it's like all said and done. You can see I'm adding a few pieces over here. What I wanted to add were some kind of like, you know, trash pieces up on the top, but it really just wasn't working out. I feel like it would have distracted it, and it would have not be too realistic. I know, it's very ironic. I'm like, oh, I want to have like this hyper stylized suit, but I'm also like, oh, but wouldn't that cardboard get all soaked and like muggy and gross up there? So I don't know, maybe I'll add some later down the line, maybe I won't, I'm not really sure. I gotta play with it a little bit more. I'm gonna have some like cleanup time in between episodes and stuff, but we'll see that once we actually do get to that point. I did want to add some fallen beams and stuff right over there though, so that looks super awesome. And what I do for the kind of rest of this is just decorating the rest of the area, making it feel a little bit more flush with the rest of the jungle. One of the problems I'm running into with this build is trying to make it feel lush, meanwhile trying to clear up paths, make it feel a little bit breathable, bring in some like, you know, sun, and bring in some light into some of these habitats, because that's a really big issue when you're working with like a jungle zoo or something like that, is that in Planet Zoo, you are incentivized to keep open areas so that you could see your habitats in full light. It's very much like a balancing act where you're like, okay, I want to like sell the vibe of a jungle, but I also don't want to put down a million trees and ruin the light that comes through. It's that light that really helps a habitat stand out. It's really what brings me to kind of fawn over Caesar Creates screenshots because they're always so beautiful and they're always in the right light. How do you do that, Caesar? But adding the rest of the stuff over here too, I wanted to add some vines to make it look like, you know, maybe this post was abandoned for a little bit. So adding a few of those liana vines over there really helped to sell it. Also adding some other plants in here as well. Some of my favorites are the African daisies. They're just so beautiful and so vibrant that I use them in all of my tropical projects. And I also add a few relatively tropical plants as well. The bird's nest ferns are a very popular plant for that kind of stuff. Adding some orchids, adding some of those as well. Adding the dome palms kind of sunken in. And that is pretty much it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy, you guys already know what to do. I don't need to hammer it down. But thank you guys so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the cinematics. And I can't wait to see you all in the next episode of Castaway Keys Zoo. Have the most wonderful days, and goodbye now.